Hello again, everybody. Ben Rank, Manager of Products and Risk Management with CIVMIC. Just want to go over some of the common errors that we see with regard to the APD schedule out in Origami. So you'll notice at times if there is an error in one of the vehicle records, it'll populate this list that you'll see sort of at the top of your screen here. It'll say fleet error list. If you notice that you've got a fleet error list popping up in your vehicle schedule, we would ask that you please go into each of those vehicle records. You can see we've got two of them here, and that you go in and correct those errors so those vehicles can be repopulated back into your active fleet list. One thing you'll notice, this first vehicle is a 2024 Dodge. You'll also notice that it does still populate down here, but that the total value is at 0. So it's not, although it shows up in your active vehicle list down below, there's actually no value associated with that vehicle until the errors are corrected. So what I'm going to need to do for each of these, I'm just going to walk you through the process, is you have to go in and correct the errors. So once I click into the vehicle schedule, what I always like to do is start again with the VIN lookup, make sure that that is valid. I'm going to start with my VIN lookup feature. Click my VIN lookup. That is going to pre-populate some of the vehicle details that I need to make sure that my gross vehicle weight is pre-populating here, which it is. I'm going to scroll down just a bit, and then you'll notice here the vehicle category and type are starred at a required field. So I'm going to go in and make sure that I am properly going in and selecting those. So I'm going to go in and make this a police vehicle if this were a police vehicle. And I'm going to say that this is a passenger vehicle. And one of the other things that members do get tripped up on pretty often is the purchase price. So you'll notice at the top right here under vehicle valuation, this purchase price field has to be filled in or you're going to continue to get an error. So I'm just going to go in, I'm going to put a fictitious price in here at $35,000. But you do want to put the accurate purchase price that you did purchase that vehicle for. I'm going to just put in here that I purchased it today. I'm going to go ahead and select the department, which is also a mandatory field. Say that it's garaged inside. I'm going to go ahead and add in that this is a police passenger vehicle, that maybe we've got just a couple add-ons here. Maybe we've got some high visibility lighting for about $2,000. And I'm going to go in and add just some graphics for, let's say, another 1,500. Okay, so then I go through and double check. Looks like all of my validated fields are completed, with the exception of this statement right here, my test box that says I've included all the permanently affixed add-on value to the vehicle. So I'm going to make sure I check that. And then what I'm going to want to do is go back up to the top and hit Save Changes. Once I do that, I should see that that system goes back through this vehicle record, validates all the fields, and then takes that vehicle from the fleet error list on the previous page back out to my active fleet list. So let's see if we can make that happen. Let's save changes. I wait a few seconds and you just saw that that popped from my fleet error list and then came back down into my active fleet list. So that is generally how I want to go into my fleet error list. Click on the vehicle records, do another VIN validate, make sure my validated fields are completed properly, resave the vehicle, and that we should see that pop down to the active vehicle list. And as always, remember, service first and insurance always.